We've decided that we'll be doubling down on food production. Though we don't foresee ourselves being entirely self-sufficient, we can imagine growing a significant portion of our fresh produce during the growing season. Perhaps we'll just start with a few key crops and then ramp up to a more diverse group of fruits and vegetables as the seasons unfold. We'll eventually get to a place where we'll have our own chickens and ducks and perhaps enjoy some eggs. Here in the Finger Lakes region, there is a healthy appreciation for local food and a deep respect for the farmers who grow those crops, raise the animals, or forage for wild edibles. You don't have to venture too far to find farm fresh food. The Ithaca Farmers Market is a popular destination for locals and tourists alike. And it's a nice experience to connect with the people who are out there every day, working the land, in the sun, or the rain, or the snow. All right, so we picked a very popular day to come out to the Ithaca Farmers Market. Actually hard to find parking here. Word to the wise, if you actually do come to the farmers market and you're regular at the farmers market, or you're coming as a tourist to the farmers market, just kind of park a little bit further away if it's one of those nice days, because it's here in the summer. It's so beautiful, and this is a popular place to come for your produce, to see arts and crafts, to actually get prepared food. You could actually see some people actually preparing some food here. So it's getting close to lunchtime, and I think everyone's quite hungry. And you get beautiful plants. For all the plant people out here, so many beautiful plants. So let's go inside and get a sense of what we have in store in case you ever come here or if you're not familiar with the farmers market. I mean, this is the time to come, especially like summer turning into fall. That's when you see some of the great produce. I also smell like some fried food here. One of the other things that's really nice is that there's a lot of prepared food, and you can find prepared food from like all different types of cultures. So sometimes you can see Cambodian food or Vietnamese.
We are in the middle of our 6th season, and we love it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful farm. It's in Lodi. It's like 40 minutes northwest of here at Lake Seneca, and yeah, it's beautiful there. Yeah, we have about 126 acres. We grow on 30 in a rotation. We're certified organic, and we love our produce.
I love your produce. It looks so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
How long have you been at the farmers market here?
What does the sign say? 86, 83?
Yes, 1987.
87.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we bought the farm 6 years ago, but the previous owners who started the farm, they have been doing it since 87.
Amazing.
Yeah. They were one of the very first organic produce people here in the Finger Lakes.
Did you keep a lot of the same fruits and vegetables that they were growing, or did you
Pretty much. I mean, there's a limit to what else you can grow, you know, but yeah, pretty much from A to Z. I call it from asparagus to zucchini. And yeah.
What are the favorite things that you're growing right now this season?
My favorite things are the cantaloupes right now. I'm very happy with them. They taste very beautiful, very nice. And eggplants and tomatoes. Tomatoes are amazing.
What are these long yellow ones right here?
They're called blush. It's an artisan tomato. It's a cherry tomato. You're welcome to have one. They're very fruity. Yeah, that one is a beautiful one. They're very fruity, and but they still have like a good quality tomato taste, and they're very beautiful in appearance and in salads.
Yeah, they look gorgeous. So
Peppers.
can you just take me through some of these tomatoes here that you have?
Yeah.
They all look so gorgeous.
Yep. This is called blush. They're all artisan tomato. This is called pink bumblebee. This is a black cherry. This is a regular red tomato. I forgot the name of that. That's a green tiger. That's a yellow pear. And this is called a pink boar. It has like this beautiful metallic green stripes. And then I have the regular sun golds. Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Any challenges this year with the weather? It doesn't.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It doesn't seem like it though. You have it's bountiful.
Yeah. Well, we are fortunate. We have 2 irrigation ponds that are bone dry, and I'm talking about bone dry that you have to, they're super dry. And then we have 1 spring that goes into our property coming from the neighbor, and we're stocking up a small pond to a level that we can pump out with a pump, and then pump it to another pump, and that boosts it actually to the field where we need to have it. So it's a lot of fuels. It's pretty dry, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're still able to do it with this,
yes.
this bounty. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know.
But only because we have we have that spring,
Yeah.
The challenge right now is we're establishing the fall crops, and which we're harvesting in the late fall, and it is so dry. It is hard to germinate them. So we'll see how that's gonna work. But the farmers are flexible. They go with the flow. Whatever comes, we deal with, right?
That's right. Shows some resiliency.
Yes.
Yeah, I raise an old-fashioned breed of pig, and the pork belly is a good thing. And if you want it, I'll be sold out in a couple weeks of pork belly.
Okay.
It moves fast.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Excellent. So first of all, I'll give you a sort of a visual tour of 3 of the 4 types of bacon that I have. Okay, and I'm putting these in an order intentionally. Missing over here is jowl bacon.
Okay, because it's all sold out.
Yeah, it's all sold out today.
Yeah.
I have more. Super fatty. And if you're buying jowl bacon, the fat's a little chewier. So it can't be bad tasting fat if you have to chew through it more. So I feel like jowl bacon's fat is an indicator of the pig's quality. And it makes great pasta. What's it? Pasta carbonara? I think it's called. Hold on just a second, sir. Can I help you?
No, go ahead, man.
Because we're just
you talking. I'm just getting hungry while you're doing it.
Yeah,
well, come on up.
Feel it up.
Well, I'm giving a visual tour of the bacon.
Visual tour of bacon.
And he's getting it on film, so you can be a background character. All right, so then less fatty, what we're all familiar with in the United States is standard side or belly bacon. Ideally, it's about 50-50 fat and meat. It's not always easy to get that. This one just about does it. Little less fat is what some people call Irish style or cottage bacon.
Right.
Shoulder bacon. And it's leaner, it's round, it comes from the top of the pig's shoulder, the same cut, that's the butt roast. And makes great sandwiches. It's become my favorite. Canadian bacon. Have you had Canadian bacon in Canada?
No.
So if you go to a cheap diner, I grew up on the Canadian border.
I've seen like the Canadian, like they look like little, flapjack kind of
Yeah,
things. Like,
and these ones are a little longer.
Things, yeah.
But I think Canadian bacon, when it's produced in a factory, is atrocious. And I grew up eating in cheap diners in Fort Erie, Canada, and I thought it was greasy cardboard. But then my butcher said, no, you haven't had good Canadian bacon. He convinced me a couple years ago to make it from our loin. I am now a Canadian bacon fan.
Amazing.
But no more cheap diners. If I go to a cheap diner, I'm buying something.
Well, you kind of ruined it for yourself.
Yeah, I did. I ruined it. I'm suffering terribly.
You can't go to any cheap diners now.
So there's something I'm very proud of, is the quality of the bacon. The other thing, so this is Berkshire, and it's the old-fashioned genetics that sort of works for people. And so what I'm going to take out is, I'm going to find a good example of a Berkshire pork chop here. Okay, so I'm going to take these out, but I'm also going to take out a butt roast and then tell you what you can see by looking at it. All right, this butt roast displays some of the same character that these chops have. Now it's double wrapped, so it's a little hard to see, but
It's a little marbly.
it's very marbly. It's very red.
Yeah.
Now the red you can get from a lot of pig breeds if they're being raised outdoors in the woods with forage, shade, sunshine, a muddy wallow to chill in. And a large part of my strategy for raising the pigs is also low stress. Cut down on the cortisol, cut down on the adrenaline, makes for good tasting fat, feed them green stuff in the winters. So this fat becomes something that's desirable, even though a lot of us have been taught to question fat. But when fat's not raised in a factory, and there's vitamin D and all those complex nutrients that come from chlorophyll, you get really tasty fat. And that's what, so the chops, the belly, and the roast are what Berkshire is particularly known for. And especially if you're a line cook, you're a chef and you're serving pork chops and it's busy, you know in 30 seconds you can ruin a chop. It can go dry on you. And the Berkshires are a little more forgiving because of little fat nodules that are within the muscles. And from a farmer's viewpoint, Berkshires have attitude, but I like that.
Well, you're a New Yorker at heart.
Yeah, could it be? Yeah, they wear the same color clothing I do.
Yeah, exactly.
They're black furred. So there's a little bit of some of the work. And of course I sell a lot of sausage because everybody likes sausage and it's easy.
Yeah.
And I put all primal cuts into my sausage, so it's not cheap stuff.
Well, thank you so much. This is a really lovely overview.
I'll close that box for you. You want to open up the box when you put it in your fridge at home.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise they sort of collect condensation. Yeah, so there won't be an issue. It's good because they were just harvested late last night. Very fresh. Enjoy.
My name is Joe Rizzo. I, along with my wife, own the distillery, Mushroom Spirits Distillery, and the Mushroom Farm, Blue Oyster Cultivation.
When did you start doing the distilling?
Well, we've been farming mushrooms about 15 years here now, and maybe about 2 years ago we started producing the mushroom spirits.
Were you thinking about different value-added products that you could add?
Yeah, it's essentially that. Yeah, we're just always thinking about mushrooms, I guess.
For 15 years at the very least.
That's right.
How long have you been at the farmer's market?
Like I said, we joined about 15 years ago through the mushroom farm. We do both fresh mushrooms and interesting spirits.
And what are the mushrooms that you specialize in? I'm sure over the 15 years you've dabbled in quite a lot.
Yeah, a lot of different ones, just really good culinary ones. Oyster mushrooms, shiitake, a little bit of wild stuff, especially chanterelles. A little bit of mushrooms like reishi, people use for teas, that sort of thing.
Chanterelles were really good last year, though.
Last year was a really good year. You know, we're sort of paying for it this year, I guess, with no rain.
So it's amazing. You started your farm 15 years ago, and then you came to the farmer's market 15 years ago.
Yeah, my wife and I moved up here about 15 years ago from Brooklyn, just to kind of get out of the city, come here and raise the kids, that sort of thing. And yeah, we love it up here.
How long have you been on the farm working?
22 years.
22 years, and so you started it 22 years ago.
Yes.
Amazing. And have you always grown beautiful vegetables like this?
Well, we started out small, so we grew like a little bit of beautiful vegetables, and then over the years it just kind of grew and grew.
When did you start showcasing at the farmer's market here?
22 years ago.
Wow. Okay, so it was here, and you had the opportunity to feature all of your products here to people in Ithaca and beyond.
Yes.
That's
and,
great.
This actually is our only outlet. Down where we live, there aren't a lot of CSAs or a lot of interest in that, so we direct market everything through the market here.
So do you do winter market too?
Yes.
So how do your vegetables change as you approach the winter?
Yeah, it's more of the root vegetables that are storable and garlic and onions, but we also put greens in the greenhouses and try to get them established before the real cold weather comes in. So over the late fall and winter, we have fresh greens to bring to market also.
Did the weather provide any challenges this year?
Oh yes, always, every year. Unfortunately, it's kind of worse and worse every year. So this year we had quite a bit of drought and heat. whereas last year was the opposite. It rained all the time, almost too much. So yeah, the challenge is really keep you thinking about ways to still be able to grow in spite of the weather.
I'm sure you've seen quite a bit in 22 years, and you just have to be nimble and resilient.
Ready for anything, yeah.
So tell me what some of the products that you are most proud of right now this season.
Well, like our main crops are the potatoes. We do 9 kinds of garlic. Our rainbow carrots are, one of our mainstays. Onions, of course. But then we like to do a few specialty things like the beans. They're called haricots verts. It's a French filet bean. The Italian flat beans. We've got shishito peppers. We do a little bit of tomatoes and melons, squash. Something different every year. We've also been doing fresh baby ginger the last 5 years or so.
People must love that.
It's really gotten to be a great crop. And a couple of years ago I started doing peanuts too, which I found a variety that does well up here in the north.
Amazing. Well, I love that you're kind of inventing year over year and creating something that is really unique to this climate.
Yes.
My name is John Tamburello, and I've been at the market for over 20 years. And one of my lineups at the market is blueberries. And I also have wines that are available too, fruit wines that I make out of certain fruits. And my signature wine is blueberry wine. And I make a couple of them. I have a dry blueberry, and then I have a semi-sweet. And then I into the process of making sparkling blueberry wine. We have a U-pick operation, and we've been growing blueberries, or I've been growing blueberries for 43 years. The nice thing about them is with the weather, because it's a big challenge, growing fruits now. Blueberries have northern genetics, so they are strong and hardy. Usually the problem is what's happening is a lot of cold fronts come in, things get pushed up earlier in the spring, and then you have a cold front, and if everything's in flower, it kills a lot of the fruit buds. Blueberries are not like that. They seem to be very hardy. Like I said, northern genetics, so that makes a big difference. We have 6,000 bushes, and we have a U-pick operation.
Where's the U-pick operation?
And we're located in Trumansburg, just outside of Trumansburg. And we've seen generations of people come in. So it's nice to be able to be around to see all that.
Yeah,
and,
amazing. 43 years you said,
43
right?
years, yes. And when I first started this blueberry farm, people thought I was crazy. Because the big thing is, if blueberries could grow here, they would have been already here. And I says, no, that's not the case. I says, I've been to a number of blueberry farms. I went to Cornell, I took agriculture, and I said, I visited a bunch of blueberry farms, and I says, you know what? I could do that too. But I had to match the right kind of soil profile. You have to have the right kind of soil profile. It has to be very acidic. And if it isn't, it's very difficult to grow blueberries. So that is my story.
I love your story, and I love that your shirt is totally on brand right
yes,
there.
That's right.
My name is Kyle Olson. I am just a farm market vendor. I sell vegetables down here at the market.
Very cool. And then, so tell me a little bit about the farm that you vend for.
Ithaca Organics. I think it's second or third generation family owned. We work out of Freeville and Dryden, 2 farm locations. Yeah, we're certified organic, lots of vegetables, lots and lots of veggies, small CSA.
And then is your CSA, do people do the pickup here, or do they pick it up at your farms?
Yes, we have 2 options for the pickup. The pickup is down here on Saturdays or at the farm on Thursdays. And it's just a pre-ordered box. I have one in the back of the truck. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah.
Awesome. And then what is, right now we're kind of at the tail end of August. Your beets are looking damn.
Yeah, we just got a new crop of beets with the greens.
Your beets look like Christmas lights.
yeah, the multicolored beets. It's definitely a light show. It's an eye feast for a lot of people. Peppers are in, hot, delicata squash, check it out.
Oh, wow.
Super fresh crop, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of new stuff every week. We got fennel, eggplant, all the goodies.
Amazing.
Yeah. fun varieties of eggplant.
Yeah, do you know what kind of varieties they are?
This is an Orient Express Japanese variety. And the name on this one, I'm forgetting. It's a big Italian frying.
Yeah, look at that. Beast.
Yeah.
It should be called the Purple Beast.
Yeah. The Purple Beast, that'd be a good name.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh yeah, these are perfect.
It sounds like a bunch of water balloons.
Yeah, it does.
Attempting to grow your own food weds you to the earth, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In the city, talking about weather with a stranger is just small talk, a way to break the ice and to connect perfunctorily with one another. Whether it's raining or sunny may just mean the difference of bringing an umbrella or not. But when you grow your own food, conversing about the weather is a deep well of meaning. If it does not rain for days, or rains too much, it can mean the difference between no crops or a great crop. Perhaps that's an uncomfortable space for many to be, living on the edge like that. But it's real, and it's deep as the soil you grow in. It reminds me of my favorite quote of an unknown origin. Only a fool walks on the edge of a cliff. Only the man who has been there knows what's behind. Only the man who has been there knows where no man has been. And where no man has been is where some men must go. We've reached a point where more of us recognize that we either long to be on the edge or are forced to be there. Whatever the case may be, putting that first seed or bulb or crown or shrub or tree in the soil becomes a meaningful, if not monumental, moment for most. It immediately connects us to the earth, our fellow growers, and everyone who has grown or harvested a crop before us or after us simultaneously. Growing your own food shouldn't be a radical act. But in the face of all that's before us, it's become one. And we encourage more folks to be a little radical. Even if one of us cannot grow all of our own food, a tall task to ask of anyone, then at the very least, it'll allow us to appreciate the greater community of those who contribute to the meals we have put on our tables, and to appreciate that we still do have intact communities who do produce the food we eat and enjoy. Because without them, we may find ourselves in a cab, casually talking about the weather, and life would be a whole lot emptier. The Ithaca Farmers Market, a vendor-owned cooperative, is open Saturdays and Sundays at the Pavilion at Steamboat Landing in Ithaca, New York. You could check hours and dates of operation at ithacamarket.com. And if you're making a day in the Ithaca area, then you may want to walk the scenic waterfront trail, check out the rock garden at the Cornell Cooperative Extension's office, visit Ithaca Falls, or drop into the local museums in the area. For more great ideas, head over to visitithaca.com, which is a solid resource for places to stay and things to do in the Tompkins County area. And if you're enjoying these documentaries of the area, consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notifications button, and even tipping. We're reinvesting 10% of our Google AdSense revenue from this channel back into the area, and that's being matched by our partners over at Espoma Organic. So your support helps contribute to the area. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.